Hi, good evening. This is Independent Sales Director Jessica Velarde, and I am coming to you with I think this is our 6th class, and it's called the Flawless Face class. So in this class, what we're going to do is we are going to learn foundation tips and tricks. And before I begin, I just wanted to talk a little bit about foundation. In our old starter kits, what used to come was about 12 different foundation shades. And I have found that most consultants could find this a little bit intimidating. However, there are some consultants that love it. I think it was a really great bang for your buck. So if you purchased a starter kit before August 1, congratulations, because you got a real good deal. However, going forward, our new starter kits have just CC creams, which is easier. I think it's more workable. They're not as intimidating. So I love what the company did and just kind of simplified, because I always say Mary Kate is not difficult. It's very simple. And they make things very simple for us. So looking at the, well, let me turn the page. The items that we're going to use today, everything's listed on this page. So I've already prepped my skin with my TimeWise Repair. And prior to my TimeWise Repair, I did use the microdermabrasion. And I'm just going to jump right into the reasons why we use certain of these products. So the microdermabrasion is super, super important. I've always had people, oh, can you just come and match my foundation? And if you would like to match someone's foundation, you have to facial them. Period. End of story. There is no way that you can match someone's skin correctly without prepping their skin first. It's just not going to happen. So I have found that most people who don't know, they just don't know, right? They're not independent Mary Kay beauty consultants. What happens is they will go into a drugstore or beauty counter or whatever the case is, and they will begin to, start trying things out. If there's a sample or whatever, and they start putting stuff on their face and whatever think they match, or putting it on their arms, right? Whatever think they on the top of their hands, if they think it matches, and then that's the color they go with. And then they go home and they're disappointed, and they go through 5 or 6 different foundation choices. So if I had a nickel for everyone who's always coming to me for advice with foundation matching, right, I'd be a very rich girl. But anyway, going back to the foundation matching, it's definitely something that if you haven't mastered, you need to really master, and how you master that is just by doing, all right, and practicing on people. And then going back to what I was saying is you have to prep their skin. So it gives you an excuse to get in front of them and find out what type of skincare they're using, what type of skin they have. And once anyone tries that microdermabrasion, forget it. They're going to fall in love. It's the reason why I'm in the business, right? And so the reason that we use microderm is because a lot of people are trying their foundations on dead skin. So we all have dead skin. The secret to great skin is exfoliation. And so if you're not exfoliating, then you should start, because that's what allows new skin to come to the surface. If you're not exfoliating, you're walking around with dead skin, especially now in the summer where, you have a lot of sun damage. When you are exposed to the sun like that and you're not exfoliating, and then you're trying to match foundation on top of that, not going to happen. And so exfoliation, and it doesn't necessarily need to be microderm, it can be the charcoal mask, is super important. But the microderm seems to work for my clients. I always tell them I will not match your skin until you try the microdermabrasion. Or if you're already a microdermabrasion user, make sure that you're using it prior to me coming to your house or coming to match your foundation. Because I have had clients who I've matched their foundation a long time ago, for whatever reason, sun exposure or lack of sun exposure, their skin changes. So seasonally, they'll change their foundations. I had a woman who her face is super dry now. She was oily combo, and now she's more apt to using the CC cream because she feels like it's a little bit more, it doesn't make her face feel like dull or look dull for that matter, right? She's premenopausal. Those are the things that happen, ladies, right? So we're here to help everybody. And so the microdermabrasion is super, super important. I also use this as an excuse to get in front of people who tell me they never use foundation. I don't use foundation. Well, why don't you use foundation? Well, the reason I don't use foundation is because I just feel like it's heavy on my skin. It's too much makeup. Well, clearly you haven't tried our foundations. And I have to tell you one thing about these foundations. When these foundations started, I never, ever, ever used I never used foundation. I used to use tinted moisturizer. And the tinted moisturizer that we had at the time was great, but I never really used foundations. And then these came out, and I tried it, and I tried it the way, you know, the company asked us to do it, which was with the primer for that, you know, nice finish. And I fell in love, and I can't imagine not using this with this. And it's just, I love our foundations. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about matching so that we can get through this class. So a couple of things, you're definitely going to need a foundation primer if you have your model in front of you. I hope that you've already kind of gotten an idea of the matching color that you're using. You also need a CC cream, and I'm going to tell you why in a second. You need your under eye corrector, your perfecting concealer, your compact with your shadows. Again, I'm going to tell you once again, we picked out colors for this event. So the rose gold, the truffle, and the sweet plum, my favorite colors. And you know, a lipstick and a cheek color. But depending on your, so that's why we've made this palette. Let me grab the big palette. Excuse me. The reason we put this palette together is so that you guys are ready to be able to, so the palette with the 3 colors, so that you're able with the smoky eye, the bronzer, all that, so that you're ready to do anybody's shape, eye shape, color, anything, right? With the palettes that we put together for you guys, all right? And feel free to mix them up, whatever. So I know that I said colors in here, but I don't want to hold you to that. Again, your model may not like purples, and she thinks she looks horrible in purples. So go ahead and use, you know, maybe the palette that we used last week, okay? The only time we're going to stick to the palette is the smoky eye palette, all right? All right, so moving on. And then you're going to need a mineral powder foundation, and you're going to need the brushes, obviously, and your finishing spray, okay? And so the first thing you're going to do is you are going to apply the primer, all right? I've already applied primer. I don't know if you can tell, all over my face. So I had that on, so I'm just letting that dry. Well, it's dry already. So that was the last thing that I did. So I have primer all over my face, okay? And my color is beige 6 in the winter, and beige 7 in the summer. Now, I have not been exposed to the sun as much as I did in the beginning of the summer. And so, and I also have, mine is the matte wear, okay? Now, one of the things before I start with the matching is, well, let me go back. I have my foundation kit. So if you're, okay, so if you're a brand new consultant and you purchased your kit before August 1, I want to tell you that you should, if you're trying to build on all of those colors they gave you and you're just starting out, I would say to just pick one that you want. So you're either going to do the matte or you're going to do the luminous, okay? If you're just starting out and you're trying to build it, I have both in every single color, okay? Because I have a lot of clients and some of them like matte, some of them don't like matte, some of them like luminous. But for matching purposes, if you're just starting out and you're a brand new consultant, I know the box gives you one of each, but I would say if you're trying to build it and you want one of each color, pick one. Pick this one or this one. I'm going to tell you right now, in the Northeast, where we are right now, most people like matte, even if they have dry skin. My clients who have dry skin like the matte look. It's just what's in, and it's a trend. It is what it is, okay? If you live in Florida or Puerto Rico, most people are going to use the matte. They are not going to use the luminous, okay? This is more for dry skin, and this is more for oily combo skin, okay? The other thing is the luminous, I actually mix them. This is why I have a beige 7 in the luminous and 1 in the, I mix them. I love, so don't be afraid to mix stuff. So I want to tell you, I love the look that I get when I mix these two together, because this will give me a really matte look. This will give me a really luminous look. When you put them together, there's like a little sheen going on. I love the way it looks. The other thing I do is when I am, like I am now, I am in between colors. I am in between right now a beige 6 and a beige 7. And so I will add this beige 400, which is kind of like an in-between color of our medium coverage, to beige 6. Now, I don't want to overwhelm you guys, okay? But here's the deal. When you go to a counter, the women behind a counter are mixing foundations. I never had a straight up color when I used to use MAC, okay? They would mix my color, and I had a freaking foundation thing that lasted me forever because I never used foundation. I used to use tinted moisturizer. When I did, I had to buy 2, and they showed me how to mix it, and they even gave me little pots to mix it in, okay? And that was like, again, for special occasions. Now, don't be afraid to mix your colors, all right? And play around with them. The only way you're gonna learn is by playing around with them, okay? And so right now, the way my skin is again, I'm in between a beige 6 and a 7, but what I do usually is I mix the beige 6 because I like the matte finish with this beige 400. There's another beige 402 for your olive skin girls. That is a little tiny bit darker. And that is almost between the color between a beige 8 and a bronze 1. There should be a color there, but there isn't. And the beige 402 takes the place of that color. All right, so these are our old foundations. When I first started, this is what they had, the medium coverage, and then they had the full coverage. They don't make the full coverage anymore, but this was very popular, and they use this medium coverage. It's not as light feeling as these, but it does the job, and it covers well. Okay, so if you're looking for someone that wants a little bit more coverage, I love this foundation for that reason, okay? All right, so moving on, I wanted to show you my foundation bag. So the foundation bag that I usually carry is a roll-up bag, and I actually I bought the wrong one. I bought my regular roll-up bag. I do my ivories, my beiges, and my bronzes in 3 different pockets. And then in here, I usually put like my foundation primer, my oil mattifier, and whatever, my brushes or whatever for styling. But I don't have that. And then the last thing I want to show you as far as organizing the foundations is that there is a foundation chart that is in your book. And it's right after our list, okay? And you guys should really look at it, study it, and kind of get a feel of where the different colors are as far as the tones, the undertones is what I meant, okay? Not the colors, the undertones. And so I always, like if I have one client and I know she's in the ivories, or someone like, I don't even know who I would pick, but all right, so take yourself for instance. So I know that I'm a beige 6. If I see someone who's maybe a little bit lighter than me, obviously she's not a beige 6, she's gonna be a beige 5 or whatever, if she's got an olive undertone. If she's kind of my undertone, but a little bit darker, so always work from where you're at. And so I want you to have a look at here, this first column. And you see where it says beige 7. and the beige 7 is green. So what I've done to my demos is I've taken a green Sharpie, and I used to have stickers on them, but the stickers would fall off. I'll show you one that I have with stickers. Here. This one's got stickers. So beige 1 is a yellow undertone, right? And so I would put this little yellow sticker that I found, or yellow star, to know that it was someone with a yellow undertone, okay, in the beige family. Beige 7 has a green olive undertone, and that's that, okay? And then for the pinks, I would just use red, obviously orange for the bronze, okay? And then I would just kind of switch up the colors if it's not marked on there. But just to give you an idea, so it's easy to grab. If you are this beige 3, see, it's pink, but I don't have a pink Sharpie, so we did red, okay? So it's in the red family. If there's someone that has a little bit of a yellow undertone, but she's lighter beige skin, clearly she's not this. I would move her to the beige 2. Just because the color is, the number is higher doesn't necessarily mean it's darker. So the beige 3 and the beige 2 might be the same color as far as like, you know, it might not, one's not darker than the other, but one might have, one has clearly has yellow undertone and the other one has a reddish undertone. So just keep that in mind. This is a very, very handy foundation chart, and I believe I gave you the second page to it, right? Yes, see? So here's the second page. This is a cheat sheet. So this book is amazing to keep in your bag. So the second sheet here gives you the undertone charts. You see that? That's a cheat sheet right there. Okay. This also tells you the different recommended foundations depending on their skin type and their finish. I have to tell you, I have very little bit of clients who use the cream to powder, and I believe the reason that they don't use it is because I don't use it. I don't like it. I have oily combo skin. It's too heavy for me. It says it's for oily combo people. I have my sister loves, she buys 3 at a time. But it's just not my thing. I feel like I work better with the liquid, the Time Wise matte, okay? But it tells you all the different benefits and everything. But my suggestion to you, because my opinion is not going to be the same as yours, so my suggestion to you is to try it. People who want higher coverage also love the cream to powder. And all right, so these are just different things to keep in mind, little tips, very, very helpful. So I gave you that second page. I'm excited that I did that. All right, so let's get started with my foundation. I'm gonna move my bag down here in my book. All right, so the first thing that we're gonna do is I'm going to apply my foundation. Now remember, my color's off because of the sun. And so I will go ahead and I'm going to mix my foundations. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mix I'm not even going to use this beige thing. I used that last week, but what I'm going to use is I'm going to use my CC cream. So here's a trick that I want to teach you guys with the CC cream. Sometimes if I'm having a hard time matching somebody and I know that they're a medium to deep in a CC cream, for instance, right now, the beige 7 might be a little bit too dark for me, but the beige 6 is too light. If I apply the medium to deep, it will pick up or almost like intensify the color a little bit, and almost not water it down, but make it like so that it gives me a more even look, especially that I have different, especially a person, I should say, not me, especially a person who has different skin like coloring in different parts of the skin. So for instance, my forehead, if you can see, is darker because it's what's exposed more to the sun, and my nose is darker, and this here is lighter, right? You guys probably see that on the video. Now, I'm not going to use a darker foundation here, lighter, whatever. If I use it lighter here, it's going to look funny. If I use it darker here, it's going to look funny. So in comes my CC cream. I'm using my hand as a palette. I'll give it here 2 pumps, okay? I'm gonna mix that around with my foundation brush, okay? And it's gonna give me a nicer finish, and it's gonna pick up. You guys know how when you use the CC cream, it almost like blends into the skin color? This is exactly what it's making the foundation do. So that's a little tip. Okay, so let me grab my mirror that I stashed away in here. Here it is. Okay. So that I can do this and not give you, so usually what I do with the foundation brush is you always want to start where, like the front of the face, and then work your way outwards, okay? The thing with the foundation, especially the matte one, is you need to work fast, okay? And one of the things that I've noticed is that clients get a little bit scared. Put my hair back for a reason too, by the way. Get scared because they'll automatically think that it's not their color. But again, this foundation tends to blend into the skin pretty awesome. I like to get into the crevices around my nose so that it's even. I even do my lids, although we will be doing the concealer. The reason I put my hair back is because sometimes I see people who have like a line, and you want to be able to do this, okay, with your foundation. And you also don't want this line here. You want to be able to go like that with your brush so that it evens out. Now, one of the things that I didn't tell you, well, if you're a consultant, and if you've been in my space, you already know that you match a person's foundation starting from here down here. And what I do is I use the brush, and I'll take 2 or 3 colors, and I match their foundation like this. 1, 2, 3. Lightest to darkest, or lightest to darkest. Just remember which color is which, okay? The reason I do that is so that they get a good look at the colors that you've picked. The one that obviously soaks into her skin is the one that's going to work best, okay? Foundation looks a little bit white, but it really isn't in the mirror. All right, just let it dry and set. Sorry if I'm putting the mirror in front of you. All right, and again in here, so it looks a little bit more natural. This is another part that we forget. All right, starting to set. That's good. So now it's nice and even. Look at that. I don't even need concealer. And I love that little glow that the CC cream is pulling from the foundation. Okay. So that's the foundation and the CC cream mixed. Again, another thing I want to tell you is that when you're doing the matching for the client, the reason that you want to do the matching too is the lighting here is not too good, but see how my skin is like darker here than it is here, but when I go here to the light, it's kind of, see how it looks the same now? You want to go ahead and do that for them, but you want to do it in natural light. This light is yellow. It's not very good, but when you, and it's dark out now anyway, but you want to bring them to the window and have them look in the mirror in natural light. It's one of the tips that I do, because sometimes I find that if the lighting's not good, they're like, oh, this looks horrible. But then once you go in the natural light, have you ever been driving in your car and you pull down the mirror and all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, you know, my makeup looks horrible or something, or it looks amazing, or whatever the case is. And it's because in natural light, you can see a lot. All right. And the big difference, like this lighting's not good. It's totally making me look like it's a different color, but use it. Okay. All right. So the next thing I want to do is I'm going to do the under eye corrector. And again, most people do these things backward, but this is the way I'm doing it. And I'm going to use the the concealer brush. which is this one. And again, I use, because these are my demos, just a little bit on the back of my hand. Hi, Nancy. I see Nancy. I see Jackie. I see Jasmine. Who else is on there? Kim. So excited for you girls. You guys are rocking and rolling. My unit rocks. Okay. Now this is hard to take out. It was upside down and now the whole thing is like, okay. So this is our under eye corrector. Now with the under eye corrector, I'm gonna like lean in, don't let me scare you. In here, right, is where I have darkness. Now I did a good job covering it with the foundation, okay? Here's the deal. You don't ever want to use the under eye corrector past this line. So let this be your imaginary line and you're gonna go up here. So you're almost gonna do, you see how it's like a little V? If you can tell here, the darkness, okay? You don't wanna go past the line. You go past the line, it's like doing nothing, all right? And so I'm just gonna tap a little bit here. Just, you see how that brightened that already? Oh my God, I love this under eye corrector. What in the world did I do before this under eye corrector? Seriously, guys, what did you do before Mary Kay? Like, I don't even know what my life was like before Mary Kay. I don't even want to think like that. It's like a nightmare. Ah, okay. And then I always go in here, in the corners of the eyes. So that's my under eye. Now, here's another little trick. I take the back of the foundation brush that I just used. I gotta use a mirror for this, sorry guys. And I blend, because there's like a big wad of product there. I blend. And I blend. Just so that it looks even. And even if there's a little bit of product left on there, I don't care, because I feel like that makes it a little bit more natural looking, okay? So that's my under eye, all right? Now, the concealer that I usually use is a little bit darker, and that I use all over my lids, although I did put, what do you call it? I put foundation on it. I just want to use a little bit of that concealer on my lids. I should have used a concealer brush. This was just handy at the moment. And the reason, actually, this works really nice. Look at that. I like that better than the concealer brush, guys. Look at how easy that is. Oh my gosh. I just discovered something new by mistake. I'm so excited. So I took the concealer off of my hand and I like to put it on my lid. And I'll tell you why. Because I feel like when you paint a canvas, it's got to be plain, right? There's nothing on it. And so I always put concealer as a base before I put my eye primer on, okay? So I'll let that dry for a little bit. You know what? I can put a little touch of this concealer right in there. You can also, if you want to get crazy, you can mix your concealer with your primer. I know some people like color in their primer. So go ahead and mix your concealer with a little primer. You know, if you had like concealer, just swab it in there. I won't do it because I already put concealer on. This will hold your makeup like no other product in the world. I used to actually, before we had the lip primer, I used to put this on my lips. But we had the lip primer and they took it away and now they brought it back. Thank the Lord. Thank you, Mary Kay. All right, I use my fingers for the primer. I just feel like I'm able to apply it better. more precise. All right, you never want to pull or tug the eye area also, it's another thing, okay? So just use tapping motions. Okay, so now my face is ready for my powders, okay? And so I gotta, oh, what did I do with that palette? Hold on. Where is it? No, where is it? Hello? Oh, it's right here. Duh. Okay, so now I'm gonna go into my palette, and we said that we were going to use the rose gold, the truffle, and the sweet plum. So I'm gonna use my regular brush, and we're gonna use the rose gold. I'm gonna go a little bit lighter, and I think I'm just gonna use Moonstone because this is, I love doing this. Just so that you guys can see better. So what I do is I use the highlight on here, on the top of the eye, okay? And also on the inside of the eye. Yeah, that color's super intense. Love it. Oh, you know why I can't see? Because there's a plastic over this. Hello. This is live, people. There you go. Love that. Okay. And so I always go on the top here. In the brow. Don't worry, it's going to look better. And then I go in here to give me that. It opens up. Anytime you put a lighter color in here, it opens up the eyes. Okay. Okay. Now, the next color is the truffle. My favorite color. One second. Bear with me because it's gonna fall. I gotta get rid of this plastic. Just throw it in the sink. Okay, so the truffle is, bear with me, my phone's ringing. Okay, the truffle is one of my favorite colors. And it's so easy to use. Okay, and now the truffle, what we're gonna do is we're gonna put it in here in the corner and here. You guys see that? And then we're gonna blend in. Can you see what I'm doing? I'm doing like a windshield wiper movement. Okay. I love how intense this color is. All right. And then go on the other side. See how I did that? And then I'm going to go in here. And I'm going to go do the windshield wiper again. So it kind of blends into the light color. And it almost forms its own color. And you always want to kind of blend in, if you see what I'm doing. Right? Windshield wiper and then in towards the eye. It's going to look so nice when I have my dark liner on. I love it. Okay. All right. Now, I'm going to take a little bit of that sweet plum in the middle. All right. And then with the other side of my flat brush, I'm going to blend that closer to the truffle, like on the lid, almost to give it the appearance like the rose gold is becoming the color of the truffle. I don't know if that makes any sense to you, but I'm using the back of the brush to tap it in. Sorry, I'm using my finger to blend because I put a little bit too much color on there, but I don't know if you could see that, how pretty that looks. Okay. So it looks like the oh gosh, I'm not able to reconnect on that side of the network. I'm having problems with. And hopefully the connection will come back. I'm not worried about it. Okay. Just using a little cotton swab to clean up any excess. All right, and then I'm going to, oh my God, I think I made a mess. No, I'm good. All right, so now I'm gonna go and use my crease brush again. Palette again? Sure, Nancy. Sorry, we had a bad connection. Nancy, all of this stuff is in this book. It's posted in the group. I could email it to you if you want, okay, honey? It's on the group. And so what I done is I downloaded the book and I put it in, I sent it to FedEx Kinko's, and in the back, it tells you everything. It even has you the palettes and all that stuff. See that? Okay, you're welcome. So excited for you. Okay, so I'm gonna take the crease brush and I'm just kind of blend. I'm a big blender, blendy blend. I don't want there to be lines. This came out so nice, you guys. The video is not doing it any justice for real because these lights are horrible. Sorry, but it's the only place I can escape away from the children. And my husband will be home any minute and be knocking on the door. I'll just ignore it, don't worry. I can do that. I'm married now. Okay, so I don't know what I do with my other brush. I'm throwing things out. All right, so I just want to clean this up a little bit, sorry. All right, there you go. So the next thing I need to do is just a liner. What liner do we call for here? We didn't add a liner for here. So I'm gonna just use my typical go-to. If it's here, yeah, it's here, my gel liner, because that's my go-to liner. And we are going to use the back of this brush. I know I told you the brush comes, the liner comes with a brush, but in all honesty, I can't use that brush. I can only use this one. So we're gonna use liner. And this look deserves a cat eye. I don't know if I can give you a cat eye on this video, but I will definitely attempt it. Looks like my thing is dried up already. I might need to go into my inventory and get another one. I love having inventory. Like you run out of mascara and you go downstairs and you just get it. It's the best. Gotta love this Mary Kay life, girls. Okay, so I'm gonna try to give you a little bit of a cat eye because this look, oh my God, look at how awesome it looks already with the liner. Yay! Super excited. Are you guys excited? I'm excited. I'm always excited. Okay, and so, oops, not good. Something happened there. Yeah, this is going in the garbage. Actually, it's not going in the garbage. Here's a little hack. If you take eye drops or contact lens solution and you do 2 or 3 drops in here, it'll soften it up and it'll give it back that soft consistency. What happened was I left it open. I was in a hurry. And now it seems to have dried up a little bit. So it's a little bit cakey. But I have to say, cakey, you know, I think it works like a little bit better. be honest with you. I'm not mad at it. I certainly am not mad at it. Okay. And there's always Q-tips. Q-tips are your best friend, especially when you're doing a wing liner. All right, I don't know if you could see that. It's a little uneven, but it's okay. Can't be perfect all the time. So here's another little hack I want to share with you. Let me try and find another one of those brushes. Actually, better yet, use your smudge brush. So what I do is I take the smudge brush, I wait for the liner to dry a little bit. I take the smudge brush and I wet it a little bit, or I spray it with finishing spray, okay? And then what I do is, give me 1 second. I'm doing a video. I'll be done. Okay. Sorry. I knew they were coming. So what I do is to finish the liner and make it like a matte look, I put the black shadow on the brush. And I just kind of draw right on top of it, and it's almost like it seals it. Almost like when you pout, you know, you put powder all over, like that. And it did a very matte look on the liner, very awesome, all right? And then usually what I do in the bottom, I like shadow on the bottom. So I'm just gonna take I'm gonna leave the excess of the black just to make it a little bit darker on the smudge brush, and I'm gonna take the sweet plum that we used on here, okay? And I'm gonna put it on the brush, and then I'm just gonna put some on the bottom of the lash and smudge it a little bit. I love the way that looks. You don't have to, but I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. And then last but not least, I'm gonna go ahead and fix my brows a little bit. And with the same smudge brush, just gotta clean it. I use the espresso just to fill them in a little bit. And then I use my brow gel just to even them out. Before I move on to my blush, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about this powder. Most people will use a translucent powder to finish the look, but you can use this. If you are going out, or like if, you know, when I was at seminar, for instance, and you need extra coverage and you know you're going to be in your makeup all day, what I do is I use this powder all over my face instead of the translucent. It blends well with the color. Anything uneven, it just makes it look amazing. All right. And so I'm just going to go ahead and put that all over my face. I think it like completely changed the look. I just love the way it looks. See that? It gives you a very, like, talk about flawless face, right? The name of the class is Flawless Face. It really gives you a nice flawless finish, especially when it's so close to your color, right? Okay, before I do mascara, I'm gonna go ahead and use a little bit of bronzer and some blush. I'm gonna use the same blush, the bronzer. I'm just gonna put on my cheeks in here. I don't really use blush, but I'm just gonna do it here for the videos. So this is my bronzer. This is just how I roll. I will use what, I'm going to use the pinky one, the Shy Blush. I think that's what you called for. Just put a little bit on your cheeks. Just gives you that rosy pink cheek look. That just looks really cute. Okay. And then I will add a little mascara, and the mascara that we're using in this class is the Ultimate, which comes in your starter kit. All right, and if you don't, you should use lash primer. It's not in my bag. And then as soon as I'm done, I'm going to finish the look with a lip color. Again, the lip color should be whatever color of choice that you feel fit for your model. Hold on one sec. Let me grab the bag. So here's the bag. I should have just hung it here. Just left this out of it already. So I'm tapping into it. Okay, so all my lip stuff is in here. You can see that. And what colors did I grab from here? What is this? So I'm going to stick to the dark chocolate color. I just saw Louise Casco do something with it, with the chocolate. So I'm going to go ahead and use that. I'd never really tried this color, but I loved it in the video that I posted. It's actually a very, very pretty. It's a Jess color. Love it. And it's neutral enough that it goes with the eyes. What I would do with this is I would use a lighter lip gloss right on top. And it gives it an even better look. I would do a gloss, like a more neutral gloss. So do the chocolate with these two, my new favorite colors. Hello, love, chocolate, and pink parfait. It's a very, very nice neutral. It's got the little hint of pink in there, the brown, but it's not over. It's dark enough, but not overpowering with the eye colors. So I'm loving the look. So excited. The last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to spray and that should give me that nice glow. I put my hair back. I was all ready for you guys. Okay, so what I'm going to do, thanks, Nancy. What I'm going to do now is I am going, so for those of you who have models in the room, I'm going to go ahead and share a little bit about our marketing. Take 5 minutes of your time to share a little bit about the marketing, because how could I share all these awesome makeup tips and not share about our amazing opportunity, right? I will post a picture later with my hair down and everything. I don't want to keep you guys on too long. And so, so I'm just going to jump right into our marketing. Also, if you are on our Facebook page, you can go ahead and post any questions or comments that you may have, and I will stay on a little bit longer after the broadcast to answer any of those questions, or I'll just answer them, you know, after the fact. It's no biggie, all right? And so I wanted to share with you our marketing plan, and this is what women want, right? Why do high achieving women start a Mary Kay business? So these are all the reasons that women start the Mary Kay business. So the first reason that women start Mary Kay, or why, you know, our consultants are Mary Kay, is for the people. Okay, you are surrounded by women of excellence. You are surrounded by amazing mentors. You are surrounded by women who want more, people who like to win, positive. I just had a conversation with my best friend, and she was talking about how everyone around her in her circle can be so cynical. And unfortunately, that is the way of the world. And here we are in our pink bubble. How could you not love our pink bubble, right? And you're surrounded by greatness, by women who want more, people who want to strive to be better mothers, sisters, better daughters, better friends. And so the people portion of it is super, super important. The friends that I have now, my truest and most amazing friends, some of them are consultants, some of them are sister sales directors, and a lot of it, you know, I wouldn't have met them if it wasn't for Mary Kay. So thank you, Mary Kay. All right. The other reason is obviously money, right? A long time ago, someone said to me, if you learn how to sell anything in the world, if you're a good salesperson, you'll never go hungry. And that was way before Mary Kay, and that always kind of stayed with me. And so I've always had some sort of like interest in selling or whatnot. And one of the ways we make money in Mary Kay is obviously selling the product. And we make 50% of everything we make, you guys. So we are one of the highest paid commissions-based sales or direct sales companies in the United States. 50% of anything is a lot of money, right? And so, you know, my thought process was, oh my gosh, you get paid at the point of sale. If I sell some $100 worth of product to somebody, $50 is going in my pocket, right? So that to me was very appealing personally, and I know it's appealing to a lot of other people in the business. So 50% is a lot. We also get paid through team building commissions. And once, you know, I always say share the product, but share the opportunity. It's not our job to recruit everybody, but it is our job to share the opportunity with everybody, because we don't know who needs this business. And so, team building commissions has been a really big portion of the income for my family. And my best part about team building is bringing people into the business who know anything about Mary Kay or know a little bit about Mary Kay, and watching their growth and watching how amazing, what amazing people, you know, they unleash that greatness that's inside of them. Not that they're not amazing, it's just they learn to unleash it. And we get paid for that. It's not amazing. So team building is another way that we get paid. The other reason that women come in is for self-confidence. I always say I'm not the woman that I was when I signed my agreement 7 years ago. I definitely lacked confidence. I am more confident, and not just as a consultant, all right? And not just as just overall as a person, I'm more confident. I'm a more confident mother when I make decisions. I'm a more confident wife when my husband and I make decisions together. I'm a more confident business person. And all of that stems from all of the training and all the mentoring that we get through Mary Kay. So I love, love, love that part of it. It was not what I signed up for when I signed my agreement. I certainly wasn't like, oh, well, I want to sign up for self-confident, but I always find the need that I need to tell people that. You know, I had a consultant that was like, tell me, oh, I'm so shy. Well, do you want to stay shy? Like, this is, you know, an amazing opportunity for you to come out of your shell. And so Mary Kay does that for you. We build confidence in other women, you know, by exposing them to a super positive environment and their Mary Kay sisters, right? The other thing that women want is a challenge. You know, imagine being rewarded for every single thing that you did. We just came back from Dallas, Texas, and what an amazing feeling to be on stage and be presented with diamonds and awards and sashes. And, you know, I had one of the top nationals hold my hands and, you know, speak into me and affirm me and tell me what an amazing job. And she didn't even know. I knew that she totally meant it. And it's just amazing to be rewarded for your work, right? I mean, when was the last time your boss tapped you on the shoulder and said, great job, and here's some diamonds, and, you know, and here's a check for doing your job. So I love that about Mary Kay. And the empowerment, right? Empowering other women. Of what we do. The other reason that women want is cars, Mary Kay. So you've all heard about the pink Cadillac. Our unit is on target. Oh, I'm so excited. And so we will have that car before the end of the year, you guys. And so we earn cars in Mary Kay. You don't have to be a sales director in order to earn a car. You can be a consultant, and we have anywhere from a Chevy Cruze to the Equinox to a Ford Focus, all the way to a prestigious pink Cadillac, and all the way to a pink Escalade if you choose to. And I always say there's a car for every single one of you. You just need to choose the work, choose to do the work and get the work done. The other thing that I always fail to mention, and is so important, is that, you know, I chose a career car. And one of the reasons is because I live in the state of New Jersey. If you live in the state of New Jersey, you know that insurance in New Jersey is super high. And the company pays 85% of my insurance, you guys. So I have a free car, and they pay 85% of my insurance. Hello. That's reason enough to run and get your free car, right? So that's another reason why want their own Mary Kay business. And then the last reason that I like to talk about is advantages. What would flexibility do for your family? What would Mary Kay do for your family? What would the money that you did just from one skincare class do for your family, do for you? Maybe you don't have a family, right? But maybe you're like looking to travel the world and you've always wanted to travel the world, but maybe you're living paycheck to paycheck and you're thinking to yourself, gosh, what can I do? You know, I can go and run up a credit card, but then how will I pay it? You know what? Go do 2 skincare classes and I promise you, you will have enough to buy a plane ticket to go to Europe, right? That was my motivation when I was young and single. I used to work 3 or 4 jobs, and the extra money, because I wasn't making enough money in my salary job, was for me to travel. And so the flexibility, the advantage, the tax advantages, the money that you make, right, in the business. You also have the opportunity in Mary Kay to advance. And, you know, I always tell the story that I was pretty much in a dead-end job for 18 years. I loved my job. I thought my job was amazing. I loved the people that I worked with, but I knew I wasn't going anywhere in that position. And then I came into Mary Kay and someone said to me that I can be in a red jacket in 24 hours. And I was like, what? I can promote myself? Get out of here. And so I did that. And for me, earning my red jacket and having 3 team members was a huge, huge deal for me, because I had never gotten a promotion, you guys. And Mary Kay offered that platform for me in order to promote myself, right? Not have somebody tell me that I was, you know, going to elevate or, you know, be better, or I did that myself. And so, you know, promotion and advancement in Mary Kay, and you can go. And the one thing I failed to mention I want to talk about is that everyone starts the same way. So I started as a independent beauty consultant. Everyone starts the same. The highest nationals are at the same level I did. So it gives everyone a level playing field, and it's up to us to work hard and do what we want to do in order to achieve the next level, the next level, the next level. So I just wanted to share that. So what type of people do we look for? So we look for people who we love busy people. I feel like busy people get things done. If you're not busy, I got to question why you're not busy, okay? So busy people get things done. I look for decision makers. I need you to make a decision right away. The wishy-washy, I don't know, whatever. You know, you got to be a decision maker. Those are the people that we look for. Those are the people who make a decision, they want to do the business, and they move forward, okay? We also look for a person who is family oriented. And the reason for that is not necessarily that you need to have a family, but we are a family. If you're part of my unit, or if you're not part of my unit, you know that we are a family and we treat each other like family. So we need to have that, or if that's what you're looking for, you've come to the right place. We look for people who have more month than money. So let me explain that. I remember when I was working, I would get paid on the 1st and the 15th. On the 1st, I would have this much money in my paycheck, and I would pay my mortgage and everything, and then I would have 0. And on the 15th, I would get paid again, okay? And by the 15th, because I was trying to catch up between the 1st and the 15th, that money was already spent. And so by the end, the last 10 days of the month, I had no money, but 10 days left in the month. So I had more month than I did money, because I was living paycheck to paycheck and certainly way above my means, okay? And that's why I had to pick a 2nd and 3rd job. So those people that you obviously need Mary Kay, so you need to talk to your consultant or talk to me. We look for those that are not really the sales type. So we are in a sales, this is a sales force, but I am not into like that kind of car salesman type of pitchy. That's not what we do here. We share. We share what we do. We share our looks. We share tips. We share makeup. We share skincare. But we definitely aren't pushing anyone to do anything, okay? And then also we look for women who don't necessarily, like if you're telling me, well, you know, I don't know a lot of people, well, guess what? You're gonna meet a lot of people, and we're gonna teach you how to meet a lot of people, all right? There's several consultants in my unit that have expanded their circle of influence because of Mary Kay. And like I said, we're looking for decision makers, people that want more. So if you have a stirring or a dream in your heart, and you're saying like, this is my goal, and this is my dream, and this is what I want to do, but you have a vehicle to make that happen, then you certainly need to talk to to us, because this may be the very thing that you have been praying for. All right. So you're probably asking, well, this all sounds great. How do I get started? Well, as of August 1st, we have a brand new starter kit. Isn't it so pretty? Look at that bag. It looks like a Birkin bag. Isn't that so awesome? Okay. And in it, you will get all of these tools, samples, and full-size products. So these are all the items that you need in order to start your Mary Kay business. Now you're probably saying, well, what's that going to cost me? $500, $600, $700? No, it's $100. It's always been $100. It's like the best Groupon ever, okay? So you get the beautiful bag, which is like this big, okay? It fits 2 of these roll-up bags inside the bag. That's how big the bag is, okay? You get all of these products. You get all of, and let me tell you, the new set is gorgeous. It's got placemats, place cards, a beautiful planner, you name it, okay? So all of this is the retail value of $330, and it is only $100 to get started. Now, I know that you guys like to shop, and you probably go to Walmart or Target or whatever, and you walk in and you're $100 lighter when you walk out, and half the time you don't even know what you bought. But I will tell you this, $100 may not make or break you, but it will, possibly will, change your life. It changed mine, and I know it changed the consultant that you're sitting in front of, and I know it changed a lot of the consultants' lives in my unit, and they can attest to it. And it definitely, I always say, you know what, why not? You'll never know if you never try. So go ahead and set up a call with me and your consultant, and we can chat a little bit more. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to ask you a few questions, and I'd love to hear your feedback on today's video about makeup and also the business opportunity. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off now. Thank you so much for watching. I look forward to meeting with you guys next week. Next week's class is our glamour class, okay, all about glam. We're going to go a little bit deeper into the glamour, all right? And it's a simple look, but it's definitely, look how pretty she looks, yay. We're going to go into a lot more in depth with the makeup, and these are items that you're going to need for the glamour class, all right? So get your models lined up, and I will see you next week. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.